Welcome to the WindowWise installation instruction video. Installation is as important to proper performance of a window as is the design and manufacturing of the window itself. All the advanced design and construction techniques can be nullified if the window is improperly installed. Did you know that over 80% of window service problems are the result of improper installation? Following the WindowWise installation procedures is one way of eliminating costly installation errors. It is important to note that care must be taken during the handling and storage of windows. To protect them from breakage, you should store them standing upright with a slight lean on a flat surface and under cover. They should have enough space between them to allow air movement. Do not store them outside or in direct sunlight because heat buildup can permanently distort some parts of the window. When handling windows, they should be lifted by the side jamb and sill, never by the head only, with the frame fully supported during moving and installation. Of course, windows should never be dropped. It is generally accepted that replacing the entire window and frame right back to the rough stud opening, or RSO, is the preferred installation method because the thermal seals will all be redone. This method is known as a complete tear-out. Before you order the window, ensure the opening is square by measuring diagonally from corner to corner. Do the measurement in both directions. If the two measurements are the same, the opening is square. Also check that the sill is level and free from distortions. Be sure to remove or loosen any casing trim. To determine the window size, measure the existing window frame and use that size to order windows. This assumes that when the original window was installed, there was approximately a 1/2 inch gap on all sides. If a brick mold is to be used, you need to measure the window exterior as well. The brick mold will butt against the exterior surface, and this measurement will determine the brick mold size. Be sure to deduct 1/4 inch from the width and height to fit the brick mold. Compare the brick mold size with the RSO to determine if you have enough shim space. Most manufacturers offer more than one brick mold size, so be sure to order the right size. When you arrive at the job site, recheck the window opening's height and width. The new windows should be approximately 1 inch smaller in both height and width, allowing for a 1/2 inch space around the window for shims and foam. Check to make sure each window is the right type, style, and color. You should check for damage as well. Now cover the entire work area with drop cloths. Score outer edge of casing trim and remove all molding. You will need to cut or break off the caulking around the brick mold and remove it. Cut out any mullions. Now, using your reciprocating saw with a long bimetal blade, run the saw between the frame and the stud wall. Cut any nails or screws, releasing the frame from the wall, and remove it. Now, recheck the size of the opening between the studs and between the sill and header. It may be necessary to add lumber to achieve the desired opening size. You may also have to cut off some drywall or plaster to get a straight, clean opening. Check around the opening for dampness or rot and repair any problems before proceeding. If you need to couple windows, first clean and caulk the joining surfaces. Using a hard rubber mallet, snap the couplers into the grooves inside and out. Check to make sure the windows are joined evenly. The drip cap prevents water from entering the house. Replace it if necessary. The back leg of a new drip cap must extend 2 inches up behind the building paper. Now place the new window into the opening and level it horizontally by shimming under the window. There should be 2 or 3 shims minimum, spaced no more than 16 inches apart across the sill. Be sure to shim the window off the sill so it can be properly leveled and insulated. This will also allow a capped sill to be sloped. Shims should be approximately 2 inches wide and ramped. There should be 2 shims at every location, one from the inside and one from the outside. Check the shimming diagrams available from the CD menu to see shim placement for the type of window you are installing. When the window is level, square it using double shims on both sides in at least 2 or 3 points, no more than 24 inches apart. Now check for plumb. Plumb is very important on casement type windows for them to shut evenly and catch the locking mechanism. Now check the window for smooth and even operation and make sure the locking mechanism works. Make any adjustments as required until everything is plumb, level, and square. When you are satisfied, begin fastening the window into place using number 8 by 2.5 inch long, round head, steel anodized screws. Screw one into each side. Only screw through a shim location and don't over-tighten it. Now drive a screw at every shim point on the sides. Most windows provide a removable strip that will cover any screw heads and give a neat appearance. When you are finished, reinstall the strip. If the frame must be drilled, countersink the screw head and cover with a cap. Do not put any screws in the sill area. Wide windows over 64 inches may require fastening through the sill. If you have to screw through the sill, be sure to permanently seal it before covering it with a cap. Now check the operation and locking again. When everything functions properly, cut off the interior shims slightly less than flush. From the interior, foam between the window and the existing frame using a low expanding polyurethane foam. Run the bead about 1 inch deep into the cavity. Only use a small amount of foam in short controlled applications. Don't forget it's going to expand. Using too much foam will distort the window and hamper its operation. Using too little foam leaves air holes. Lock the window and leave the foam to dry. Foam is air cured, so too much foam means it will not set properly on the inside. It is better to apply a little, let it set, then come back and apply another bead if needed. When it is dry, cut off any extra foam and caulk the shims before installing the trim. Now it's time to clean up the worksite. Clean the glass and frame and remove any stickers. If the customer is there, demonstrate the features and operation of their new replacement window. Be sure to leave any manufacturer's written information for the customer.